Alright, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Real Talk video. I pray all is well with everybody as we give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and all the praise. My title now says, Prison is a Business. Prison is a business. And anytime y'all know when y'all see me do a video like this, it's real heavy on my heart. And a lot of my family members are still locked up. A lot of your family members may be locked up in prison, or some may be in jail. And there is so much money in locking people up. It's so much money when you see a lot of people who's innocent that's never getting out, or some that's getting out now. People have been making so much money off the penitentiary for years and years and years. And I'm going to say some things in this video a lot of people might not know nothing about, or a lot of people may know something about, And first of all, let me give a shout out to you, Brother Donnie McCoy. I read your email because I made a statement in my video the other day saying that prison is a business. And I said I was going to come back and do a separate video about that. And here it is. I look at prison the same way when I look at war. And if you listen to me, you know oftentimes I say war is business. Everything now is business. A way to make money. And you ever wonder why so many of these prisons are overcrowded? They'll say they're overcrowded. And then there's a difference. You'll see the government prisons, but then you got these private penitentiaries. And let me tell you something. I'm going to keep saying this in the video. It's a whole lot of money that's being made off of people being locked up. So to all the ones who have gotten out and have made an awesome change in your life, with the Most High, making better decisions. This video is not to talk bad about who's been to prison, who's the toughest and all that stuff. This video is to give out a little information and also encourage you, to continue to stay on the right path and don't wind up going back, to the penitentiary. Because I deal with a lot of felons on a daily basis, convicted felons. Mostly everybody I know, especially when you talk about ministry and prison ministry, mostly everybody I know is either just got out, or some still in there, or some on their way. Some people gonna change, some don't care nothing for changes. But not to stay stuck on that, to be honest, I see a lot of people talking about people in prison, but to be honest, a lot of people, if truth would come out, they would know that it was stuff that they should have been locked up behind, but they never got caught like their homeboy did, or they didn't get caught like their homegirl did, but they sit up and talking about how stupid somebody was, but in reality they done the same thing. But since they didn't get caught, they talk bad about others. So I mean, it's each to their own. Everybody, we all got a choice to make in according to what we doing in this life. Some of these consequences, man, are you can't deal with them, And I tell, and matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, let me say this before I move further to the young people that's looking at this. Try your best to never go to prison. Try your best not to never get a record, because once you get, I call it a track record. Once you get that track record and get in the system, you in the system. And it's hard to get out. A lot of people can pay their way out. They got a lot of money, which we see that go on. But young people, I mean, try your best. The worst thing you can do is get a record started. Getting into the system is not good for you. Stay out of trouble. Make good choices. Use the ones around you that's making those terrible choices as an example of what not to do. Don't try to be popular. Don't try to fit in. As a matter of fact, fit out. So I wanted to say that and get that off top. Get that out the way off top. Now, it's so many crooked judges. I'm going to try my best to tie all this in together, and I'm going to take my time in this video. because there's some things that need to be said. But it's so many crooked judges, crooked lawyers, DA, I mean, you name it. Whatever you want to call out, I guarantee it's one crooked for every one or more than one. But we see that they ain't never really been justice. Or what they so-called justice is when you look for justice in Satan's world, don't get mad at the outcome, because that's why it's so crooked. That's the justice that most people are seeking. Well, why that cop keep getting off? Why was he able to beat down another young teenager or that female teenager over there? You're going to continue to see this stuff happen. But y'all remember that judge name was Mark. I want to say he was in his 60s. His last name started with a C, but he Mark something. Savarello or something like that. Junior. This man made, I don't know how many millions of dollars locking people up. But what was he doing? He was selling teenagers and adults. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This man, I think that was in Pennsylvania, but he got convicted of selling, once again, children into the prison and some adults. He was selling them for cash money. He was so much in so many ways taking money under the table, sending away adults and, once again, juveniles. He did that. He made more than $1 million, I believe. This is why I always tell people how corrupt this system is. It's a business. Then when you start talking about these private corporations, these private penitentiaries, they profit off of filling up their jail cells, my brothers and sisters. You know, so many of them got a certain little goal they try to make, and when they don't make it, you know who paying for it? Taxpayers. Think about a penitentiary and all those empty beds. They got to be paid for. Prison is a business. See, a lot of my partners is locked up. I don't know if y'all ever see this video, but y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know how the game works. Y'all know how much money is being, you know, thrown through the penitentiaries. Taxpayers' dollars. So when you see an empty bed right here, empty bed over there, them beds got to be paid for. When the prison beds are empty, that means the state got to pay the prison. You're going to pay the way it go. So that's why, y'all catch this now, this is why they try to fill up those beds that's empty. Put somebody in there, even if it means them being innocent. Y'all catch what I'm saying now? I know y'all got me. Even if they know this man didn't commit that crime, that woman didn't do that. But they always talking about you innocent before proven guilty. Man, that's always been a lie. Who believed that? I never have. You innocent and proven guilty. Biggest lie they always tell. The United States has the largest population of prisoners, y'all. That's why they make so much money locking you in the penitentiary or in the jail cell. So when you look at these private prisons, this is what we gotta tell you. They bribe some of these private prisons. They bribe those judges to jail a whole lot more inmates than they should. And when you're looking at these private ones, then that means it's a third party involved. So that means, yeah, somebody gonna be crooked. Money going here, money going there. The government love these these prisons. They start coming up with this stuff. Well, we so overcrowded. Well, let's come up with these private prisons. Because the government gonna always get their cut. Let me tell you something. The more inmates that you got locked up, the more money you gonna make. See, a lot of people probably ain't never heard what I'm saying here. And then a lot of people have. And I'm not scared to stand on what the truth is. The more people you got locked up, the more money you make. Now, let's put a pin right there and think about that just for a moment off of Hispanics and quote-unquote what they like to call black people. I don't like to use that term, but when you do the research, so many black men are locked up. So many Hispanics are locked up. You got whites. I mean, you got more than one race locked up. But the ones that's really locked up, it's more of us than anybody. And we know this. But look at the ones, once again, that have been innocent. And then they done got out now because somebody, found it. Well, let's just check it out. Let's go do the DNA or something. Let's go back and look at this and see was they actually innocent. And then look at what they do. Try to pay you back for the years you've been locked up. My big brother, Clyde Simmons. Big shout out to you, big brother. I don't know if you ever see this video. I don't know where you at now, but we be working with each other at the food bank. When I was talking to you the other day about your situation, how you was innocent all those years. My brother did, I think, 20-some years plus. Just got out. But you done missed your whole life, pretty much. How do you pay back a man 20, 30 years out of their life? They done missed their children growing up. They like a stranger to their own family. So this is the crooked system. But prison is a business. You done spent your time and life trying to survive. You seen people killed, people being men raping men. I mean, how do you pay a man back for that? You can't. You can't. So it's a reason why they keep locking the innocent up and making money off them. You ever wonder when you pay your taxes and it goes to the government, really, what's going on with your money? The government ain't never told the truth. Man, I pay these taxes, man. Where my money going? That stuff have to be paid for some kind of way. See, brother, you the one I'm doing this video for. Excuse me if I forgot your name, but think about this. Where else they gonna get the money from? See, I deal with a lot of people, a lot of people that's been guilty, a lot of people that's been innocent. I know quite a bit of lawyers. I even know prison wardens, police officers. Got buddies of mine that's on the force. I mean, you name it. You really ain't gonna miss me. And these are the type of people I'm around all the time, and we talk about stuff like this. I deal with many different people about this crooked system, especially when I had to go through my own mess with this crooked system, as being convicted as a sex offender, charged with aggravated sexual assault of something I've never done and was innocent the whole time. But I got smart. When they started trying to throw all that stuff at me, you know what we don't really like to do? Read, study. I was telling my other cousin that's locked up, I've done so much studying on the law, how crooked it is, and this and that, and what they try to make you do and accept, and it's wicked to the core, my brothers and sisters. But yeah, I was innocent. And my story I already told her, so I'm not going to talk about me. But just to make a long story short, I made it up out of there. My paperwork, all that stuff you was talking about, brother, I made it. All that stuff was just by the Most High. I ain't even have no lawyer. So I have seen how they do the ones that's innocent. And I ain't really just talking about what I've seen. I'm talking about what I've went through myself. But when you look at prison being a business, then you see the everybody that want their money, the court costs. I mean, you name it. Everything you got to pay for. Why do you think there is so much to pay for? Then you got probation fees. You name it, it's a price for it, ain't it? So this is why they keep so many people in jail. And then you see the ones with the non-violent crimes look like they spending more time in jail than the murderer. Some people get their first offense non-violent and look like they getting a book thrown at them. It's all about the money. I've seen a murderer get off quicker than the one who sold some weed. But private prisons, they cost more to run than the government prisons. They're a little bit more expensive. But they crooked. Then you see how they always pushing drugs through these prisons. That's another thing. How is it now you got people on the inside more powerful like they still outside, but they making all the calls from their jail cell. They got the warden on their payroll. See, these movies you see ain't just movies. They got some of the prison guards on their payroll. They running dope through the prison. It's all about money because it's a business. Just like church now. Not all. But the majority of churches, you notice the government tied in with the prison. The government tied in with the church's 501c3. Satan know what he doing. Excuse me. Satan is just that slick, y'all. Just that slick. This is just like what? Slavery. Think about it. Think about the inmates. Check this out. When you look at how they do these inmates, especially with this hard labor, think about how they pay these inmates. Look at your hard labor. They ain't got to worry about giving you no raises, paying you no benefits. They ain't got to worry about paying you no unemployment insurance. They ain't got to worry about giving you no vacation time. All they doing is getting the best out of you and paying you scraps. Everybody in the prison, they working. Look at how they working. They can't quit. Or they can quit, or look what happened to them. They probably making about 25 cents an hour. Nothing. Let me tell you something about the U.S. The U.S. have locked up more people than any other country you can think of. 500,000, probably billion more than China. Which has, China? A population 5 times greater than the U.S. Way bigger than the U.S. But this business, it is a multi-million-dollar industry, my brothers and sisters. If you think I'm just lying about anything I'm saying, go Google it. Go look up private prisons, government prisons. Look at how they really making this money by keeping inmates locked up, especially the ones that's innocent. Well, how is they able to do that, JT? They can do whatever they want. I can't stand when I see people who have committed a non-violent crime spend more time locked up than the ones that done really did some dirt. And they really trying to get their life back on track. It was non-violent. I mean, it's stupid anyway. We got to pay for the choices that we choose. But when you see a non-violent crime that they still locked up, but then this man done shot 2 or 3 people, or this man done robbed somebody at gunpoint, and they out before him that had a non-violent crime. Money. Money. Keeping you locked up is very profitable for them. Pay you very little, once again, for hard labor. These private run prisons, they prisoners, man, they probably receive as little as 17 cents per hour for a maximum of 6 hours a day. Think about that, 17 cents per hour. And just say you working 6 hours a day. That's about $20 per month. But you still got a roof over your head. Partners in the hood would say 3 hocks in the cocks. Some of my partners growing up would love to get locked up just so they would have somewhere to stay. A lot of partners of mine, they would go to prison just so they can get out in the penitentiary, the people would give them money to start fresh in their life. You can go, let me say this, you can go in prison now and get a trade. You can get a degree. You can go to prison now. I ain't trying to tell nobody to go to prison, but this is how messed up things are. You can go in and come out with your CDL license. You can come out making more money than somebody that ain't never even been locked up. But I'm glad that people get a chance, another chance in life. But that's why these private prisons, they doing what they want, but they very dangerous to be in. You see slaughter. You see mass murder. You see gang violence. I mean, you name it. Y'all remember a few years back, the brother Twin. A lot of y'all used to keep up with Twin on my page when I was letting some of the people that's been locked up, that's got out, they come in the house and sit right here and share with you their experience. Y'all remember Twin, though. When Twin told y'all about where he was locked up at in the middle of nowhere and how he saw so much stuff. People stabbed, raped, murdered, you name it, crooked guards. And Twin made it in his business to never go back to prison. Like he told y'all in the video, he ain't going back. He saw some things that he never wanted to see again. They had him way out there just in middle of nowhere, just dark. Ain't no houses, no nothing. Try your best, people. I'm telling you once again, especially youngsters, if you looking, try your best to stay out of the penitentiary. The highest paying private prison, y'all already know where I'm going with this, the CCA. Think about the Correctional Corporation of America. I think it's down there in Tennessee. Now those prisoners make a little bit more money. They may make probably like 50 cents per hour. So they earning like what, $1.25 an hour. And they work 8 hours, and some of them working longer than that, add in overtime. So with that type of money then, and that ain't no money, they can send home at least $200 to $300 a month. Versus the other inmates that ain't making but 25 cents. And you think about that, if you got a daughter or a son, a wife or a girlfriend or whatever, and you working your butt off, got shovels and digging dirt and look like you're working on a chain gang, and that's all you can send home. Now think about it like this, if you are innocent, can't pay a man back for that. Prison is a business. Meaning, you know what, a lot of people done got laid off because what you see going on now, and I know y'all can test to this, it's cheaper to get the prisoners, according to what these different type of jobs you on, just say some type of plant, working on a plant. You see what they do now, they get the prisoners to do the labor. And they letting go the people that they was paying $18, $19 an hour if they was making that much. I don't know. Everybody make different. But when you see them working on those plants, those prisoners have taken over. They done taken over. They done let the regular workers go, and they done set up a contract through the services of them prisoner workers from them private prisons. It's all about business. They make a killing off of you being locked up. Give you just a little bit while they take a whole lot. You know, from studying, y'all, it's more than that now, but it's 2.4 million people in American prisons. That's a lot. And that number going up as I speak. Back in 2012, it said that 1 in every 108 adults was in prison or in jail. And then it says, and 1 in 28 children in the U.S. had a parent in jail or prison. So I say in the black race, most of the black men are in prison. I didn't say all, but the majority are in prison or already dead. Or some still on the corner selling right now, being deadbeats, but not all. They take a good look at the black race and the Hispanics. Now, prison is a business. It costs us about, I'm going to just round it off to $23,000. This is just on the low. It costs about $23,000 just to house a state prisoner for 1 year. Just for 1 year, $23,000 for 1 year. Now, since we done got that out of the way, talking about that, let's move on to something else that's making the killing, because prison is a business. Cell phones, telephones. See, it's got to happen. It's got to be some form of communication. You even can use the internet in the prison now. I ain't gonna say all, but using the phone, those services and internet service, somebody gotta be hired for that. So that's where Global Tel come in at. Global Tel, man, they provide at least almost 60% of a lot of the state prisoners' phone services. Now, this is where they make their killing at. Prison is a business. Well, some of these folks is gonna be locked up for life. Who gonna argue with their rates? Now look at this. They charge you up to $17 for a 15-minute phone call. Now look at that. $17 for 15 minutes. Now look at how many want to talk to their girlfriend. They're going to use every bit of that 15 minutes. Global is going to make a killing. I already have. I got to talk to my loved one. So the state, therefore, hires these companies. It's a business. Just like most churches, once again, have became a business. Then, now we talking about the phone. Well, what else is big? If they get sick. So now somebody got to be hired for health care. I need medicine. Can't leave this out. So then you got what? Corazon making about $1.7 billion a year. Not million, billion. They got to provide the health care. Corazon provides for over 500 some correctional facilities in 28 states. That's a lot. And they have been on the news so much. See, this stuff people don't talk about, because they have, according to research, they have killed so many inmates. Terrible, low quality care. They have been sued, I don't know how many times. Putting patients in danger. They known for that. They've been sued for causing deaths to prisoners. Now, we see how we got the cell phone, the health care. So who else got to fit in the picture? Well, when somebody get arrested, who you got to call? Bail bondsman. And if you just, my partner, if you happen to be looking at this video, I'm not knocking what nobody's job is. Trust me, I'm just stating facts. So don't get mad at what I'm about to say. But the bail bondsman, if people wasn't getting arrested, they'd be out of work. But look at the killing that they make, because look at how many people are getting arrested on a daily basis. Look at how long it takes before a person's trial date is set. This is why you see so many people out. Even, wait a minute, I thought she did that, and how she out? Well, her trial date ain't been set yet. She out on bail. He out on bail. I've seen where some people been out already 6 months. Trial date still ain't set. 9 months. So many months and still trials ain't been set yet. But let me tell you something. You know, America and the Philippines, we are the only two countries in this world that uses a bail bond system. Y'all notice that? Bail bonds is in other countries is considered illegal because they look at it like y'all messing with justice. Y'all letting people out while we want them in. But see, the bails, man, the bail bond are gonna make their money too. They gonna get their percentage. Y'all, look at this. A bail bondsman, those systems are private too. Just like the private system. They're going to make their money one way or the other. This is what's so crazy, once again. You can be guilty and out on bail. But the bail bondsmen, they hurt when you don't report. By them being private, then, hey, if you don't show up, like my partner, he said, I got to come out of my own pocket. If they don't report, or if they don't go to trial, if they miss, according to what the bail was set at, they have to pay that out of their own pocket. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. I got bail bonds friends, y'all, so they hate that because that messes with their money. I've had to co-sign before on my family members, but I don't know more. I've watched my mama put up her house for collateral. I've co-signed. And you know what happens when you co-sign? They're going to be called. Just say they do miss the one you co-signing for. They're going to be calling you, blowing your phone up. Hey, y'all got our money? Or if you don't have the money, you know what they're going to say. You either going to have the money or tell them to lock them up. You fooling with me, I'm going to say lock them up. I know that sounds rough, but hey, man, people don't have money to just give away. But not to stay on talking about that. The bail bondman, they can charge you a non-refundable fee. Let's say like 10%. Now they making their money. Now here's somebody else on the scene. The bounty hunters. See, all of this stuff got to be paid for. The money got to come from somewhere. You got the bounty hunters that make their money. If you use a bail bonds, one of their services, and you don't show up for trial once again, that's when they'll send the bounty hunter to get you. Man, there's so many things. I would need about 5 more videos to tell you. I just hate the fact that so many of us will not study on things in this life to get an understanding on what's really going on and stop just accepting what people tell you. I mean, we gotta wake up, y'all. The system is crooked. Prison is so much of a business. So once again, when you see people staying in longer than they should, especially with these non-violent crimes, keep this in mind, that it's a business. If they got all those beds in there that's empty, they don't like that. They got to fill it up. So once again, even if that mean lock him up, lock her up, send them to the private prison, they going to do it. By any means necessary, they're going to do whatever they got to do to keep their money flowing. That's how it go. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Stay the hell out of the system. Stay in God's system. If you haven't gotten into it, get into it. Because when you get into the Most High God system, you don't have to worry about that stuff. That's a whole nother type of hell right there, man. You don't want to be in that. So y'all have a wonderful, blessed day.